Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer, finding his way through the castle of a dark wizard who has enchanted it with treacherous monsters and obstacles. In the mysterious caverns below the castle, your odyssey continues against the awesome forces that oppose your efforts to reach the Dragon's Lair. Lead on, adventurer! Your quest awaits. That, my friends, was the narration from the Attract mode of an absolutely groundbreaking 80s Laserdisc arcade game called Dragon's Lair. It gave me chills just being able to read that for all of you. I was one of many kids growing up in the 80s that would hear those words over and over in pizza parlors, arcades, convenience stores, and anywhere else that had arcade games. Only problem for me was that one game cost 50 cents. I rarely had a pocket full of quarters, and the game was not easy, so I watched others play, which was just as fun. Sorry for that long pre-intro, but this game deserves it. Welcome to Who Knows? Today we'll be venturing into the legendary world of Dragon's Lair, the arcade game that set the world on fire, both figuratively and literally. Thanks, Singe! Released in 1983, Dragon's Lair wasn't just another arcade game, it was an animated adventure, a cinematic experience that put players right into a cartoon. Created by legendary animator Don Bluth, this game stood out from the pack, but was it a massive success or a pixelated pipe dream? Well, both. While it was a technical marvel and turned heads at arcades, it was also brutally difficult and incredibly expensive to play. Still, it left an undeniable mark on gaming history, inspiring countless games, TV adaptations, and even a movie in the works. Before we jump into our list, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more nostalgic deep dives just like this. And now, let's layer down some knowledge. Stick around to the end for a special night-worthy joke. Trust me, you won't want to drag in your feet on this one. Fact 1. The world's first playable cartoon. Before Dragon's Lair, video games relied on pixelated graphics and blocky characters, but this game changed everything. Using Laserdisc technology, the game played full-motion animation instead of traditional sprites. Players controlled Dirk the Daring by choosing paths at key moments, making it feel more like an interactive movie than a game. And then there were the deaths. You got to see Dirk die over and over again in all kinds of graphically detailed ways. Fact 2. Expensive? More like a treasure hoard. While most arcade games cost 25 cents per play in the early 80s, Dragon's Lair was a gold-hoarding dragon of a game, charging a whopping 50 cents, or even a full $1 in some locations. Despite the hefty price, players lined up just for a chance to guide Dirk through the treacherous castle. Fact 3. Don Bluth's animated magic. Disney animator Don Bluth, known for The Secret of Nim and An American Tail, led the animation team behind Dragon's Lair. The game's breathtaking visuals helped it stand out, making it one of the most beautiful arcade games ever created. Fact 4. The difficulty was fire-breathing brutal. Most games gave players room for error, but Dragon's Lair? Nope. One wrong move and Dirk was toast, sometimes literally. The game required players to memorize the right moves in order to succeed, making it one of the hardest arcade games of its time. Fact 5. The legendary arcade machine. The Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet was massive and futuristic looking, with artwork that made it feel like a portal into another world. Its use of Laserdisc tech made it unlike anything else, but it was also prone to breaking down, frustrating arcade owners. Fact 6. A short game if you were good. While Dragon's Lair felt like an epic quest, it wasn't actually that long. If you knew all the right moves, you could beat the entire game in about 12 minutes. But for most players, it was a never-ending cycle of feeding the machine quarters. Stay tuned for a real-life story about beating the game at the end of this show. Fact 7. Dirk the Daring's silent charm. Dirk may have been brave, but he sure wasn't chatty. Unlike modern game protagonists, he barely said a word throughout the adventure, communicating mostly through grunts, yelps, and terrified screams, making him oddly relatable. Fact 8. The sequel that almost wasn't. A sequel, Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp, was planned for years, but didn't hit arcades until 1991, 8 years after the original. By then, the arcade boom was fading, but the game still featured stunning Bluth animation and an even crazier adventure. Back 9, from arcade to TV stardom. Did you know Dragon's Lair had a Saturday morning cartoon? In 1984, Dirk the Daring got his own animated series, complete with full dialogue. Unlike the game, Dirk actually spoke and even had a bit more luck saving Princess Daphne. Before we get to the final fact, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to check out our other videos to learn more amazing things. Who knows what you might discover? Oh, and don't layer around too long. We've got a special joke coming up at the end. Fact 10. A Hollywood adventure? For years, rumors of a Dragon's Lair movie swirled around Hollywood. Finally, Netflix announced that an official movie is in development, with Ryan Reynolds in talks to play Dirk the Daring. Could we finally see Dirk's adventure in full cinematic glory? Only time will tell. Whether you've conquered the game or just admired it from afar, there's no denying Dragon's Lair's legendary status in gaming history. It paved the way for cinematic storytelling in games, proving that interactive experiences could be just as engaging as movies. Just another reason why this game can never be forgotten. It will live on forever at the Smithsonian, as well as in the minds and hearts of gamers everywhere. And I have one final true story for you. Back when I was 14, I found myself hanging out at the local pizza parlor arcade in my small town. I was out of quarters and was just watching that Dragon's Lair attract sequence for some desperate entertainment on a lonely Saturday. Then another kid a few years older than me walked up and put in 50 cents. He started playing the game and not dying. I remember thinking to myself he might get to the dragon. And then he did! All the mysteries of what the final confrontation might look like in my mind became a reality. Then he killed Singe, saved Daphne, and beat the game! My mouth was open in shock and I didn't even know what to say to him. The kid gave me a glance, shrugged his shoulders with a tiny smile as if to say, "Well, that's that," put his hands in his pockets and walked away. I never saw him again, and I never saw anyone else beat it. This game will always be a very special memory for me. So a huge thanks to Don Bluth and Rick Dyer for creating something truly amazing. By the way, how do you know Dirk is a true gamer? He respawns every few seconds. See you at the next video.